All right, Shalom. It's a hard one, Ban Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before I begin, I want to say Ka Halayim, Layahawa, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Harakak Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. I think today is that February 14th, the pagan holiday that they're celebrating here in Babylon. There's many pagan aspects of their holidays, which they call holy days, which are really folly days, wicked celebrations and festivities and traditions that Jake following after these heathens. Today they're celebrating Valentines Day, a day where we were taught growing up that some couple in the ancient times fell in love and gave each other candy and flowers. So we were supposed to do the same thing on this day. Makes no damn sense. It makes no sense, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get to start off with this scripture. All right. Now, there's many pagan origins of it. You even have the same Valentine's Day massacre. You have the celebration of Lupercalia that they're doing, which also goes back to the celebration of Bacchus and Fawn and even Nimrod. All right, that's what it really goes back to. All right, so I'm gonna get this real quick. And we're not supposed to take part in these festivities, you know, making the corporations richer. Every year around these holidays, you go into the store and you see all the Valentine's hearts and roses, you know, and little cupids with wings, little demon Edomites with wings on them, when angels don't look like that, you know. So Proverbs 22:6, it says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart. All right, he will not depart from it. You see that? So we're supposed to be trained up in the truth. So we had to be woken up from that sleep that we were in. Revelation 11:8 says that we were going to be spiritually dead, you know, walking amongst the congregation of the dead, but now we're alive, we have the truth. And we're separated from these pagan festivities, which our people took on during the Greek Empire and the Roman Empire. Our people took these customs on during the times of Antiochus Epiphanes. All right, especially here in America. So I want to get into this topic right here. All right. This is all right. What you're seeing here is a woman being beaten with the genitals of certain animals and lambs and rams, and they would whip the women with it, claiming it would make them fertile. All right, and they would have marriages based off of that, and orgies, all kind of madness on these nights of February 14th. Now let's get into the understanding of what's happening. All right, let's get into a quick history of it. I'm not going to get too detailed because there's a lot of different stories about it. But either way, we know it's pagan and it's wicked. And it goes into idol worship and folly, you know, and adultery. It's celebrated around America where people give candy and roses to their loved ones in celebration of Saint Valentine. Who the hell is this guy? So let's get into it. It says, Valentine's Day history. Let me turn this down. It says Valentine's Day history from pagan origins to endless promotions with a little love. All right, so the origins. All right, it says the origins of Valentine's Day remain shrouded in mystery, though some theories have grown to be widely accepted, including its connection to a pagan holiday. It is. All these holidays that they celebrate here in America are pagan. All right, it says Valentine's Day heralds the midpoint of February, when couples will exchange flowers and chocolates, head out for a romantic candlelit dinner, and celebrate their enduring love. What does that have to do with anything, though? You know, what importance is that? You know, when it was younger, it made sense, but it didn't make sense back then. But we went along with it, trying to get chocolates for the damn girls. Whether you find the holiday endearing, cliche, or downright capitalistic, there's no denying that every February 14th is pervasive, but for as ingrained in our culture as Valentine's Day has become. I hate the way people write sometimes, man. Let's get to the point. All right, who is the holiday's namesake? How did it begin, and how did it grow into the commercialized celebration that it is today? See, it's commercialized, man, and they make money off of it every year. You know, train up a child in the way they should go, and they shall not depart. They the children, and then they get older and expect that from their loved ones, from their husband, or from a man, from mostly sometimes from a woman. Or the man's expected to take the woman out and buy a bunch of chocolates and impress her every year. All right, and these corporations play off of that. Here's what we know about how Valentine's Day came to be, and we're already familiar with it, but I just want to read this. From where does the name Valentine originate? You'd be forgiven for assuming that the answer to this question is as simple as suggesting that it's named after Saint Valentine. In fact, the Catholic Church recognizes several saints named Valentine or Valentinus, all of whom became Christian martyrs, according to History.com. Right. So later on, after they died or was killed, the Roman Catholic Church coined these men as saints. You see that? But they weren't saints according to the spirit of truth. They called him a saint of love. You know, because he was told not to commission certain marriages after these wicked celebrations, and he kept doing them in secret, and they killed him. All right, and they would hand the notes to each other and shit like that. That's how they all came about. But then they killed him, put him to death, and then they declared him a martyr. And he was alleged that he died on February 14, 269 AD. All right. So he died for wickedness, not for nothing righteous. It says, as one legend goes, Valentine was a 3rd century Roman priest around 270 AD. I don't know if he was a Jake or not, but whatever. Who continued to perform marriages even after Emperor Claudius II outlawed the right for young men he preferred become soldiers. Valentine was eventually put to death when Claudius discovered what he was up to, according to History.com. Now, check this out. Other accounts hold that it was Saint Valentine of Terni, a bishop, for whom the holiday was named, though it is possible the two men were actually one person, according to Britannica. Regardless of who should get the credit, an imprisoned Valentine is thought to have sent the first Valentine greeting himself. A man bearing the name signed a letter from your Valentine to his jailer's daughter, whom he had befriended and by some accounts even loved. Alright, so this is all legend. But now check this out. Valentine's Day pagan connections. Look at this. Look at them damn balloons. Wasting money. One of the most common explanations excuse me, is that Valentine's Day has its origins in the ancient Roman fertility festival of Lupercalia. Now, this is the real foundation of it. All right, because you know, with paganism, you got to peel back the layers. As it goes back in time, they gave it different names, different titles, different mascots, different characters. But it's originally called Lupercalia. All right. The Debacarus festival, because it really goes back to Lupercalia, is also the celebration of Bacchus. Okay. The Baccharis festival, which celebrated the coming of spring, included animal sacrifices and drunken revelry to honor Faunus, the damn faun demonic image that they got of a half man, half deer or some shit that you see in all the Roman stories. Or that movie, I forgot what it's called. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe or some shit. I forgot what it's called though. But the Roman idol of agriculture, as well as the Roman founders Romulus and Remus. All right, so they were honoring Romulus and Remus on this day as well. Men and women were also paired up together through a lottery system in matches that often led to marriages, according to history.com. All right, Lupercalia was celebrated for centuries in the middle of February, eventually transforming into a Christian celebration honoring Saint Valentine as the Roman Empire became less pagan, or really became secretly pagan. And it's another celebration they celebrate on the 15th as well. All right. So this whole 3 days is like a pagan ritual. Now it says Lupercalia was celebrated. Oh, Salakia. At the end of the 5th century, the celebration of Lupercalia was forbidden by Pope Gelasius I, who is often attributed with replacing it with Saint Valentine's Day, according to Britannica. See that? So, it is. These days, Valentine's Day celebrated in not just the United States, but Canada, Mexico, the United Kingdom, France, and Australia, is the universal holiday for idiots to demonstrate their feelings. So let me get to the point. All right, so Lupercalia was an ancient Roman festival, pagan festival. Although many people believe that Valentine's Day began with the legend of Saint Valentine. See, that's the disguise. The celebration itself has pagan roots. Originally, February 13th through the 15th, that's what I was saying, was a pagan festival called Lupercalia in ancient Rome. All right, so I'm not going to click on all these links, but you can check them out. But the origins of the Roman festival Lupercalia, other possibilities include Mars, that's what they worship, they're honoring, Juno, Pan, that's what it really goes into, the celebration of Pan, Lupercus, Bacchus, see, Bacchus, and Februus. The idol itself was less important than the festival. All right, so these festivals are very, very witchcraft based, man. All right, check this out, man. The Roman festival Lupercalia. Look at that, dressing up like fawns and cupids. It was said that the dude Valentine was wearing a naked Edomite baby on his ring with wings. All right. So Lupercalia is one of the most ancient of the Roman folly days. One of the Farai listed on ancient calendars from even before the time of Julius Caesar. All right, reformed before he even reformed the calendar, and he did that around 45. What was that, BC? Now it is familiar to us today for two main reasons. That Lupercalia, it is associated with Valentine's Day. It is the setting for Caesar's refusal of the crown that was made immortal by Shakespeare. This is important in two ways. The association of Julius Caesar and the Lupercalia gives us some insight into the final months of Caesar's life, as well as the look at the Roman Folly Day. The name Lupercalia was talked about a lot in the wake of 2007 discovery of the legendary Lupercal cave, where supposedly the twins Romulus and Remus were suckled by a she-wolf. The Lupercalia may be the longest lasting of the Roman pagan festivals. Some modern people celebrating this Valentine's Day, man. Christian festivals like Christmas and Easter took on elements of earlier pagan religions, but they are not essentially Roman pagan holidays, right? It's crazy, man. It's all satanic. Lupercalia may have started at the time of the founding of Rome, traditionally 753 BC, or even before. It ended about 1200 years later at the end of the 5th century AD, at least in the West, although it continued in the East for another few centuries. There may be many reasons why Lupercalia lasted so long, but most important must have been its wide appeal. Why is Lupercalia associated with Valentine's Day? If all you know about Lupercalia is that it was the background for Mark Antony to offer the crown to Caesar. All right, let's get to the point. I don't want to read all that. Chronologically, Lupercalia was a full month before the Ides of March. Lupercalia was February 15th or February 13th to the 15th, a period either proximate to or covering modern Valentine's Day. All right, so Lupercalia, this is what we want right here. Lupercalia, which is also Valentine's Day, conventionally starts with the founding of Rome, traditionally 750 BC, but may be a more ancient import coming from Greek Arcadia and honoring Lycaean Pan. This was really about the Roman Inus or Faunus. That's what they worshiping, man. Damn fawn idols. Lycaean is a word connected with the Greek for wolf, as seen in the term lycanthropy for werewolf. All right, so See it, man. It's shrouded in paganism, man. Idols and mythology and Jupiter and Faunus and whatever these different names are, man. You see all that madness. So, right. So you see, it's all worship and honoring these idol false gods, man. And I told you it goes back to Faun and Pan and Bacchus, Caius, and all these different names, man. These idols that they worshiping on these folly days. But right here it says Pan. All right, Pan can be traced to the Phoenician sun idol Baal. Goes back to Baal. Also a god or idol of fertility and nature. See that? So that's what it goes back to, man. So this is more ancient than Saint Valentine or some guy named Valentine. We can make a strong case that Baal is none other than Nimrod. Okay, so in Genesis 10 and 9, Moses describes Nimrod as a mighty hunter. In the days after the flood, animals multiplied rapidly and caused fear among the people. So, yeah, man, it goes back to who? Nimrod. That's what they're honoring once again. So you see, man, our people brainwashed, and Judgment Day is at the door. All right. This is Revelations 22 and 12. Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me. And that's what we really should be seeking, the reward from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, the reward of salvation, of eternal life, of righteousness. To give every man according as his work shall be. So they still celebrating these folly days, they're going to get destroyed. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, man. Keep the Lord's commandments. You got the Passover coming up, the Pesach. All right, with these pagans, we'll be celebrating Easter. And these pagan Muslims, they're going to be celebrating Ramadan. But the men of the Lord that are sincere in His truth, they're going to be celebrating the Passover. You got these heathens trying to celebrate the Passover as well, but we do it to rehearse the righteous acts in the spirit of truth. So keep the Lord's commandments. And one of His commandments is to not deal with these idols and not celebrating them, none of their festivities or anything. All right. Blessed are they that do His commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, to the truth, to wisdom, and may enter in through the gates into the city. They're going to be delivered. The people that have pulled away from all this, even the women and children. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers, man. And that's what it all deals with, whoremongers and sorcery. People, whoremongers, people selling their body and their soul for filthy lucre and for lust. All right? And murderous and idolatrous, whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. So they love this stuff, man. They be like, man, I gotta get my stuff. I'm just getting it for my girl because I got to. Hey, man, here you go. I'm gonna get this. Because if your girl won't listen to you and she wants you to here you go. Sirach 25 and 26. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. All right, Scripture say that may it please the Most High for you to escape a wicked woman like that, that'll trap you up. Okay, you shouldn't. Let's get that. Let's get this real quick. This is Jeremiah 2 and 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. All right, made it popular. So don't trim your ways to seek love from nobody, not even your woman. All right. So let's get this real quick. Because that's what this goes back to. Let's go back to Sirach. Oh, actually, First Maccabees. This is First Maccabees 1:11. In those days there went out of Israel wicked men, man. So people that's into this is wicked. They're in that Greek pagan mindset. So this is wickedness. All right, to follow the ways of the Greeks, Esau, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathens that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein, that's happened around 168 BC in the Greek Empire under, what was his name, Antiochus Epiphanes. All right. And it says that they went to the king, Antiochus, who gave them license. See, they gave them license even to this day to do after the ordinances of the heathen. This is the ordinance of the heathens right here, Valentine's Day. All right, Lupercalia. You know, but they cover it up and sweeten it up just like they do all their holidays. Candy, a lot of candy involved. All right, so now let's get this. So this ain't nothing. This is nothing new under the sun. All right, so now 2 Maccabees 6:6. Neither was it lawful. So it was a time where Antiochus, the Edomite, he made it unlawful for us to be Israelites, for us to keep our customs. And a lot of our people sold out during that time and went after and followed after the ways of the Greeks. And then it carried on even into the Roman Empire and even to today to America. All right, 2 Maccabees 6:6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. Man, you see that? And in the day of the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. All right, and that's what they did, little birthdays and pagan birthdays for Antiochus. And on his little celebration, just like on these Valentine's Day, our people would be all into their festivities. Back then it was by force a lot of time. Just like a lot of people being forced now by their woman. All right. And in the day of the king's birth, every month, every month, that same day, they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the fast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy. So they would have to march naked, carrying ivy, and forced to be seen in the nude, and that's against our customs. All right, and they were forced into orgies and all that, just like they did in America. All right, so I'm not gonna get into all of this because you know you can read it for yourself. 2 Maccabees chapter 6, but that's that same Bacchus, them same pagan idols are going back to the time of the Greeks. All right, going back to Pan, going back to Nimrod, all the way up until today, where they covered it up, and all they focus is on is the festivities. They're not really worrying about the statue or the idol. They're worrying about the festivals now, the ceremonies, the rituals. That's what they're into. So they got people all into the rituals while they deal with their idols and shit. So now the Lord told us this. through the saint, the real saint, one of the real saints. Saint just means holy, you know. And one of them named Paul, the apostle. Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, man. Look at this dude. He conformed. You look up the definitions of conformed, you're going to see him right here. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, man. The refreshing, the renewing of our mind back to knowing that we were Israelites and keeping our ways, our customs. That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. All right, and the will of Yahweh is for us to believe in the truth. Those that he's seeking for such to worship him in spirit and in truth and to follow him. All right? See, the Lord told us, he said this right here, be not conformed to this world. 1 Corinthians 7:29. But this I say, brethren, that the time is short. See, the time is short. We got time for all this damn debauchery. All right, look at this. I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Right? You see that? Supposed to have many wives. So imagine the same guy, if he told his wife he wanted another wife, that she would rip that heart in half. And his too. All right. So it's time for us to be as though we had no wives, because we're in a time of spiritual war. Supposed to be focused on teaching and renewing our mind, you know, our connection with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. But if you marry, you know, you have not sinned. But we're not supposed to be caught up in all this damn snaggerpuss love, you know, mess. It says, and they that weep as though they had not wept, have wept not. And they that rejoice as though they rejoice not. And they that buy as though they possess not. And they that use this world, see, as not abusing it. For the fashion of this world passeth away. All this stuff is passing away. It's getting old. It's going to get destroyed. The fashion of this world. The Lord is about to bring in righteousness. This is wickedness. This Valentine's Day. If you is shrouded in wickedness, idol worship, men worship, women worship, you know, and folly, and pedophilia, animal sacrifice. All right, and they that use this world without abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried care for the things that belongeth to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. So if you don't have no wife, you don't really have to go looking for one and get entrapped in a situation. But just focus on your mission that you were here for on this earth. Like Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5, where before he knew us, he formed us and sent us forth as his spokesman to the world. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife, man. So how you please your wife is what, going to work, or you even sex, you know, mentally you got to be there for your wife at times. All right, so that can distract you compared to a man that's single. All right, so if you're single, don't be, oh, I need a wife, I need a woman. Just focus right now. There ain't the time for that. If you got a wife, then, you know, you balance it. You got to do the whole balancing act. But this truth come first. All right, so, right, there you go. 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. So we don't love these worldly celebrations that they're doing, these pagan, demonic days that they're celebrating. The days aren't wicked, it's just the celebrations and festivities that they're doing is wicked. It's pagan, it's demonic. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So if you love your woman more than the Lord, you love these holidays and traditions more than the Lord's holy days, then the love of the Father is not in that person. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and that's all this is, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. And that's what we're hoping to abide forever. But these guys here, they're not together, but it represents our people on that Valentine's Day. All right, you see everybody in the store is getting balloons and flowers for their mean ass loved one that they've been dealing with. Look at him. All right, so this is Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, man. Our people are rebellious. They like children, rebellious. All right, you look at the other countries, they be celebrating. You'll see their children training, doing all kind of kung fu moves and using martial arts and weapons. And then you look at our children over here in America, Jake. They listening to damn Sexy Red, talking about her booty hole brown and shit. And the other girl that performed at the Super Bowl, Ice Spice, she up on the break time, she was throwing up devil symbols and shit. And she performed a song called Fart. I ain't even watched that mess, man. Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me. They learn a lot of this in these schools and in these churches, man. That's who taught us about all this Valentine's Day shit. All right. And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin. Because we already born in it, in sin. And then we get older and continue in that shit. Transgressing the Lord. Transgressing the laws. Adding sin to sin instead of becoming refreshed and renewed. All right? So, turn to the Lord so we can have our sins washed away. Have our sins covered. But instead, right here it says what? 1 Ezra 4:26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women. Many dudes, look, he out of his wits. He done lost his damn mind. All right? For women, and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished and have erred and sinned for women. It's a sin for a man to become a servant to a woman. It's a sin for a man to deal with these pagan holidays, all for a woman's attention and for her love. When we're supposed to be seeking the Father's love, Yahweh. And the women supposed to seek our love. But the shit is backwards now. There's many that have gone out of their wits, man, for women. All right. Let's see what they got. They got more. Look. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with people being in love, man, but I'm talking about this Valentine's Day pagan celebration that they're into. All right. Because what? 1 John 5:6. Or 1 John 1:6. And this is love, that we walk after the Lord's commandments. All right. So really being in love is being in order and righteousness. So if not, it's just folly and it's vanity. Being in love and being in wickedness in this world. But to be in love and to be in the truth, now that's something right there. And that's hard to find. Because a man can love many women. All right, so, but what? This is love, that we walk after the Lord's commandments. This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, you should walk in it. All right, so let's keep going. 2 Peter 1:16. For we have not followed cunningly devised fables. These are cunningly devised fables. Why? They want to make money off of people now and get them to worship their idols, their festivities. All right? So it's the devil seeking whom he may devour. For we have not followed cunningly devised fables, right? We following the Lord's voice, not these cunningly devised fables that's out here, like Valentine's Day. When we made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai, but were eyewitnesses of his majesty, right? So we tell you the truth about Yahweh Shai and his love for us. You know, his love for the church, his bride, his woman, and how we should love our families in righteousness and in the spirit of truth, following after Yahweh, but not following after cunningly devised fables. All right? So what it says, Proverbs 31:1-3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings, man. It destroy you, giving your strength unto a woman. In this society, they're taught that a man should serve a woman. They even got some women walking around with chains around a man's neck on a leash. Men scared to turn their head and look at a woman while they with their woman. But, you know, men afraid to bring another woman into their life because they're afraid of death. That woman might kill them. They had a video the other day. Excuse me. They had a video the other day. This woman said she caught her man in the bed with another woman, and she killed him and videotaped herself and showed it all over social media. And she was proud of it. Like, I guess he won't cheat now. Like, she went psycho, demonic, to prove her point in jealousy. All right, so all that love stuff and Valentine's shit go out the window when jealousy is involved. So give not thy strength unto women. So don't give your mind over to this world for women, for their heart. Nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings, man. All right. So in Ephesians 5:11, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. See, we're sitting here to what? Reprove and rebuke these type of acts. Now that we know better, now that we get the mote out of our own eye and we stop celebrating these holidays, stop eating pork, stop eating shrimp and lobster, stop talking to other men's wives, you know, things like that we were taught in this society. Stop celebrating Christmas and all these wicked, demonic festivals. All right. So have no what? Got him. Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. This is unfruitful works of darkness. If this was a tree, this would be the fruit that they bear. Lupercalia. That's the root of it. All right. Unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them, man. Rebuke them and blame them for being wicked. Okay? So, matter of fact, I'll get this. Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Okay, so we're not supposed to choose any of their ways that they celebrate. They got President's Day coming up. We don't celebrate that. They got Sunday. We don't deal with that. Whatever else they got coming up. Any type of folly and wickedness, we ain't into it. All right, so let me get one more. It says what? And this is the John 3:19. And this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. See, they love darkness. Neither cometh to the light, lest their deeds should be reproved and changed, man. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in Yahweh. And that's why we keep the Lord's laws, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and we keep his Passover, and we don't deal with this damn pagan folly day. All right, so Valentine's Day, pagan connections. The debaucherous festival, which celebrated the coming of spring, included animal sacrifices and drunken revelry to honor Faunus, the Roman idol of agriculture, as well as the Roman founders Romulus and Remus. And Faunus goes back to Pan, and Pan goes back to Nimrod. All right, so I'm going to end it with this. Romans 13:11. And that knowing the time, man, look what time we're in, the time of the Lord's judgment. Jacob's trouble creeping up. All right, the payback, the punishment for these people not listening, for their rebellion against Yahweh and against Yahweh Shai. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, man. And this is sleep that they're in. This fantasy world, this American dream. You know? For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. The night is far spent, deep into the time of Esau's rulership. Nighttime, going to midnight. The day is at hand, the kingdom is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. All right, so if anybody's hearing this and they're still Christian or in the world and they celebrating and they about to eat that Valentine's Day candy and they see this, they should cast that shit off. If you eat the damn candy, you eat it, but I'm talking about the celebration. Throw all that damn chocolates away, or eat the shit, throw the boxes away, all the celebration. And tell your woman, and have it in your own mind that you're not going to celebrate that no more. All right, your love for your woman and the woman's love for the man should be based off of the commandments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua towards each other, and honor each other for the journey. And the team, which would be a tribe or other women that may join to that man, and the children. All right, loving in order. The man not being a lion in his own household, the woman not being the dragon. All right, so let us walk honestly as in the day, you know, like we was in the kingdom. So they ain't gonna be celebrating this madness in the kingdom, this wickedness in the kingdom. So let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness. What are they into? Drunkenness. All right? That goes into being in these false doctrines. Not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, and make no provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Man. So with that, man, I'm going to end it. I'm going to say, Shalom, man. We don't deal with these fables, cunningly devised fables made by pagans, devil worshippers, idol worshippers. And this damn picture is another pagan abomination, what they call Cupid. So with that, I'm going to say, Shalom. And this is a cursed celebration, Valentine's Day.